everybody, I'm Scotty J, and you are watching Rock Titan Music Television. Got an awesome guest with us right now. We have actually caught up in the past when he was on tour with his other band, The Dead Daisies, and we had a really good time in his hotel. But we couldn't be in person this time, so I've got the man, Doug Aldrich, with me via Skype. Doug, how are you, sir?
Good, Scott. Thanks for having me again, man.
Yeah, no, so obviously last time you and I had a chance to catch up. We're talking all things The Dead Daisies with you and Marco, and now we've got your brand new album with your other band that you actually started, Burning Rain, all right? We've got Face the Music coming out on the 22nd.
Yep, absolutely. We are really excited about it, and we hope people enjoy it. We had, it's mine and Keith's. It's our baby band. It's our pet project, and we really wanted to give it a shot this time. So I was able to plan it out so that it would be released when the Dead Daisies was on hiatus. So we're excited.
I was going to ask you about that because obviously you were so busy with the Dead Daisies. I know that you had a pretty aggressive tour schedule. Of course, we talked all about that. When in the world did you have time to create a new album with Keith?
Well, we started, with the Dead Daisies, we work 6 months out of the year, as you maybe remember. And
right.
A lot of that is it'll be either making a record and touring or just touring. And last year was pretty much just touring. Actually, we released a record, but it was already made at the end of 2017, I believe. Right. And then during my breaks, Keith and I got together. We had been kind of putting this record off for a little while because we didn't really have the right batch of songs yet, and then we kind of hit on some things that were pretty cool, and then I found out that we were excited about them. Then I found out that the Dead Daisies were going to have a hiatus in 19, and I said to Keith, why don't we just let's kick ass and finish this thing and get it out there so we can give it a shot. Like for the first time ever, we're both available to promote the record and give it a chance. We got new guys in the band. We're very excited about Bloss and Brad.
I wanted to talk to you about that, because obviously last time you had Matt Starr with you as your drummer, and we actually caught up with Matt not too long ago, and of course he's a drummer for Ace Frehley. So I guess, I'm all thrown out of my mind now. It's like I had this idea, Doug, and then we're going down a different path. But
sorry, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, no, hey, man, the time is yours. But like you just brought up, obviously you have a new lineup now, with the exception of Keith St. John. So everybody, Keith St. John from Montrose, that's who, he and Doug Aldrich, who we're speaking with right now, they formed this band, Burning Rain. What led to, I guess, the new lineup?
Well, we wanted to find guys that were not super busy that could actually come with us and support it. Okay. And we wanted to, we were kind of going for a little bit more of a edgier sound on the stuff, and we just wanted people to be into that. And I guess what it came down to is we wanted, it's been 5 years since the last record, and we wanted to make it a fresh start.
Right.
So I asked him, do you know anybody that you think would be good for bass? And he said, I know. There's this guy, Brad Lang. He played with Y&T, and he played with Montrose for a little bit.
Okay.
And Brad he's amazing. Amazing player. He played great on the record, and he is super cool. He's just the most chill guy in the band. Well, actually, I take that back, because Bloss is very chill as well. Okay. And that's what I love about Bloss. I met Bloss in Vegas. I've known about Bloss forever. He's one of the all-time badass drummers, he's like, he throws down live like crazy. Anybody that's seen him knows that. And he's super cool, really great guy. And so I met him in Vegas, and I said, Bloss, what do you think? Keith and I have this band, Burning Rain, and would you, consider checking it out? And he goes, man, I love it. I love that stuff you guys did. And yeah, let me hear some stuff. So we played him some rough demos, and he was really excited about it. And Brad was already on board, and so we said, can you guys? We both want, we want to go out and tour and do some stuff to promote this record, and both guys were really up for it. Bloss is kind of just hanging. He'd been living in Vegas, raising his family, and staying home, which was great. He's got a beautiful family, and it was perfect. He's now locked into Vegas, and he does Trans-Siberian, as some people know.
Oh, nice. Right on.
But other than that, he's up for whatever we can book. And Brad's basically at home chomping at the bit, waiting to get on the road with this thing. So we've got a show coming up at Vamped in Vegas on the 29th of this month.
Oh, right on.
And
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go have a kind of a record release party there with our friends in Vegas. Okay. And then Keith and I are gonna embark on a month-long acoustic tour in Europe. And then we're gonna end up, Brad and Blas will fly into Milano, and we're gonna play the Frontiers Fest on April 28th. It is April 28th.
Okay, cool.
So
cool.
Yeah, so but part of the contingency of playing the Frontiers Fest is that they don't want us to play other electric gigs around that festival. So we'll set up a tour in Europe for the next Daisies break, which I think is in the fall.
Okay. Now, I was going to ask you about, just how much you were going to be supporting this brand new album. Of course, we're talking about Face the Music, which is your follow-up from, what was that? Epic yes.
Obsession.
Epic Obsession. Yeah. And like you said, I mean, it's been 6 years, and
yeah.
Prior to that, it had been even longer, I mean, you come out with these first two albums, in like 99 and 2000, I think, back to back. Mm-hmm. And, all of a sudden, then you get involved with Dio, which, who the heck's going to turn down Dio, right? And then you've got your thing going on with Whitesnake, who's going to turn down an opportunity to play with Coverdale? But I did want to ask you, though, because for a lot of people that may not be familiar with Burning Rain, even though this is your fourth album, the first albums that you released, they didn't really get a big, huge amount of attention in the States. I mean, they were predominantly like Japan, Europe. Is that not correct?
That's correct. Initially, it was just Japan, and then we got stuff released in Europe later. But that was kind of a carryover record deal from Bad Moon Rising, and I wasn't. I mean, I'm still. I'm a late bloomer. I'm still, meeting people for the first time and trying to get my name out there. But at that time, I was definitely more underground, under the radar, and Keith was as well. And then he joined Montrose, I joined Dio, and then we kind of didn't have much time to do it after 2000. Eventually,
what we got going on?
Poor network connection.
Well, right? That is the internet. But we got you. You're good.
Okay, I got you too.
You look good.
So basically, we had to take a break while we both did other things, and I had a blast in both Dio and Whitesnake. Had a great run with David. I felt like, I felt it was really good to kind of be a part of resurrecting Whitesnake and putting it in the kind of a direction that pleased both the European side of Whitesnake and the American side, and that's what we did. And then I had to kind of take care of some stuff at home, and that's when I got out of Whitesnake. But then I got the itch to get back on the road. I went out with Glenn Hughes, and little by little, at that time, Frontier said, "Hey, what about another Burning Rain record?" And I said, "Okay, I'm not really sure when we can do it." He goes, "Don't worry about it. Let's just make a deal. And when you and Keith are ready, we'll do it." And so we, actually, at the end of Whitesnake, we did Epic Obsession.
Okay, right on.
Then after Whitesnake, I was out of Whitesnake. I did a Revolution Saints record, and then Serafino said, "Let's do a Burning Rain record." And Keith and I were up for it, but we just didn't know when. And then he was like, "Take your time." But then another Revolution Saints record came up. And I explained to Serafino, that's going to kind of push the schedule back a little bit. He says, "Don't worry about it. I want the Revolution Saints right now." So that's what I did. And then I joined the Dead Daisies, and I got slam busy for 3 years straight. But Keith and I were able to write. So we did it during breaks, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the reason I'm asking about this, Doug, because I love history, and I like just tracking like how things all fell, like time wise. I think that time
got frozen
scale, it's
on my side.
It's very interesting.
Wait, go back one more. Say it one more time.
Did I lock up on you? Okay.
Yeah, you were right. in the middle of an important thing.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, I think that, just like the timeline, is always very interesting in terms of when certain things happen with artists that have multiple projects going on, like yourself. And, when I'm listening to Face the Music, which everybody, again, Face the Music by Burning Rain comes out March 22nd via Frontier Records. Make sure you go check it out. Go get it. And because I've actually already listened to the whole album, even though right now, I guess for most other people, they're only listening to Midnight Train, your official music video that's out there off that album, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what everybody else has. But Face the Music, I have to say it's great. I haven't listened to all of your other albums, full disclosure, all the way through, but I did listen to this one. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, like, you guys are really good, like if you really wanted to devote all of your attention to this, seriously, I'm just thinking to myself, why is Doug, and Keith going out and working on other things and not putting everything into making, Burning Rain, Whitesnake, or Mantra, something that's like literally a household name, packing arenas and everything like that, because from a quality perspective, you could.
Well, I really appreciate it. That's very kind of you to say. And we never know in this business what's going to happen. You never know. You just try and do your best and make music that you like. And I'm trying to not spread myself too thin, so I'm committed to Dead Daisies and Burning Rain.
Right.
But I do have to say that I enjoy doing these two bands a lot. And I'll do sessions here and there, obviously. If something comes up and I'm free, I'm going to do it because I love playing.
Right.
But there we go. We're back on. Were you online?
Yeah. No, we're good.
Okay.
I never lost you once. I'm good. Where are you at right now? Where are you at?
I'm in my backyard, sitting outside because it's been raining a lot, and it's nice to sit out. But we might, we'll see what happens. But Burning Rain is definitely a priority now. Keith and I are excited about it, that we have a chance to do things like talk to you and actually I thought he was going to join us today. What happened?
I don't know. I'll have to go back to your publicist and find out. I don't know.
You better have a chat with Keith too. You better do an online thing with Keith.
All right.
But anyway, we'll see what happens. We're very, very happy with how the Dead Daisies has been going, and Burning Rain. I'm really excited about the future. I hope that we can get it to, even if if on this record we can do a proper tour and start to build a fan base again and start from the beginning again, make it happen, and then we'll follow up next year with another record maybe. And
I have ADD so bad, so I'm glad you kind of brought me back to the whole touring thing and what we were talking about a little while ago, because I talked about how your first albums really didn't get the kind of attention in the States that I think they deserved. Hopefully Face the Music gets a lot more attention than the previous three, even though it's all great. But touring, obviously, you got to be able to tour in support of the music that you're putting out there, and that's part of the reason why you, came up with the new lineup that we were just discussing with Blas and Brad a little while ago. Are you looking to do some more aggressive touring? I mean, you talked about a few dates in there, but can we look forward to maybe you guys being in support of another bigger act? Maybe jumping on something with Whitesnake or something like that.
Well, oh man, that would be a dream come true because obviously we have a lot in common,
right?
But any of that stuff is possible, and it would be great. There's other bands too, even some bands that have been rebuilding, or some new bands. There's a band called Underground Thieves that's really killer. I love them. Jared James Nichols is a new artist. It's great.
Right on.
We could tour with these guys. Then there's some older bands that have been resurrected as LA Guns are friends of ours. Maybe we jump on some stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe get on some Slash dates. Those guys are friends.
Right on.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we definitely want to tour. We're going to do, after we get done with the Frontiers Fest, we're going to come back, let the record kind of marinate for a bit in Europe. But we'll definitely be doing a tour in Europe. We've got some offers from Japan. We want to do that. And probably initially in May, we'll probably start doing some Weekend Warrior stuff, taking a trip and doing 2 or 3 shows in the States wherever they want us.
Yeah, come on back out to the Chameleon Club, like when we caught up with you with the Dead Daisies, you know?
Absolutely. And then there's some friends. Basically, we've got friends all over the country that could be of help to getting us out there. So we're gonna hit you guys up.
Yeah, well, I definitely have to catch up with Keith, like you said. I mean, it would be cool to talk to him just to kind of get his take. Because one of the things that, again, one of the other unique things about Burning Rain is you started this band. Like, even though the Dead Daisies is something else that has a lot of your attention right now, and you've got a great thing going on with them, obviously. But I know that they brought you on, you know, after they'd already kind of started up. I think were you only on their last album? Was that when you first joined the band?
The last 2 studio records and the live
last 2.
record.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Don't sell me short, Scott.
No. But what I'm saying is, but Burning Rain, like you said, this is your baby. I mean, this is something that you and Keith created, you know, and it would just be so cool to see it get the kind of attention that all of your other projects have. Because personally, you know, I do believe in it. And everybody, again, March 22nd. Face the Music is available. Make sure you go get it. Check it out. You know, and certainly go check out Midnight Train.
The next single that's coming out is the title track, Face the Music, which is a kind of a positive. You know, normally you would think of face the music as you better go face the music, like go to the principal's office, you know, or go to the whatever, turn yourself in to the judge. But I look at it as a positive. It's like anything that you want to change in your life or make better, fix up, whatever it might be, any dreams you got to go after them. You got to face the music. You got to go after them head on and face it. And so that's the message that I get out of that thing. But of course, he's probably got much deeper. You got to ask Keith about all of the lyrics, because he goes all down these crazy rabbit holes that I have no idea about.
I was going to ask you, I mean, who did the lyric writing? Is that all Keith, or do you guys share writing the actual lyrics? Or
No, I mean, we have in the past, but I'm going to say 99% of this is Keith. I just kind of would direct as a sounding board, like, hey, man, I really think that part there is super strong. I think you should repeat that part. Or I did say to Keith in the beginning, let's go in some different directions. So we have a song called Revolution that's kind of political. We got a breakup song. We got this song Lorelei that Keith and I really love, which is kind of about this siren that's on the side of the rocks of the ocean or the river.
So is that the album cover then?
Yeah, and she lures the boats into the rocks because they want to be with her, and she sinks ships, you know, and so it ties into facing the music. These guys got to face the music. They just crashed their boat.
Okay. All right. So all the songs kind of tie in together, like they have this relationship.
There's a lot of different things. There's a couple love songs. There's a song
called
Shelter.
Yeah, I like If It's Love.
If It's Love and Shelter.
But I wish I had more time to talk to you, Doug. This is awesome, you know?
Well, let's set up part 2. Let's get Keith and we'll do it together.
All right. You know what? I'm going to hit up John, and I will see if we can get something going on with you and Keith and have a little bit more time, because I think that would be awesome.
I do too, because you're an awesome interview, and this is probably the only Skype one I'm going to do. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. I'm going to hit up John right after this. But this is great. Brother. And everybody, again, we are here with Doug Aldrich of Burning Rain. Make sure you go check out their new album, Face the Music, coming out March 22nd. And we'll be talking soon.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, Scott. Talk to you soon, bro.
Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Thanks. We're out.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Wanna rock you, baby.